Sometimes a video game series has to change because they just have no choice. The next installment in the WWE gaming series decided to change just because they wanted to. You see, in 2011, THQ and Ukes had a brand new engine, and they really wanted to showcase it. And they were so confident in that engine that they was willing to abandon the entire SmackDown versus Raw name to put this engine in the forefront. That's how confident they were. And the result is the WWE series. So that's why we're looking at WWE 12. The reboot of the entire series and the game that they bet the entire future of the franchise on. Now, again, it's very interesting. They really didn't need to... Oh, what's up, Mustafa? I expected people to be here so early. I appreciate you being here. It's interesting because they really didn't have to do this. And Slade is here too. Wow, you guys are here early. I appreciate you guys. Actually, I appreciate it, one, just for you being here, and two, this is one of my favorite games of all time. I know I talk about Here Comes the Pain is the greatest game of all time, and objectively it is, but this is personally, I think I put more time into this game than any WWE game ever. And this was, I think this is more significant to me because this was the last WWE game before I became a YouTuber. This was the last game I played. So I think that's why it's more, it holds up more to my, it holds to me more personally because like I get the singular, yeah, this is the final game before I decided to become a YouTuber. Hello, Sarah Zimmerman. I don't think you've been here before. Please tell me the truth. Is the lady on your shorts AI? I mean, she looks AI. No, she's not AI. She's physically a real person. Just to let you know. That was the experiment. That was the experiment I was running. I'm still deciding whether or not to keep that presentation on the short side. I wanted to do something different on the short side. But hello, Sarah. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. So, as I always try to say in the beginning, this is a 25-day event showcasing the entirety of the WWE series, how we led up to 2K26. We are currently on WWE 12. So as I said, they really did not need to change this series. SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 did perfectly fine. In fact, it did great. People, the general consensus, it's probably the best wrestling game of all time. But then they were developing this new engine. And part of developing this new engine, they completely abandoned the PS2 and the PSP game for that very reason, so they can focus on this one. As they were developing it, they decided to really showcase this, we should just abandon the SmackDown vs. Raw name. Don't be tied to this. We want to have this new engine specifically for this new series that we're going to reboot, and that's how they came up with WWE 12. And to help explain that further, here was this article. One second. Here was this article. What date was this? August 22nd. So this is around only a few months before the release. Brian Williams, who still is a part of the, he's currently part of the development team at Visual Concepts for the WWE 2K series. We'll get into that further when we go to like 2K24, 2K25, all that good stuff. But the guy asked a very simple question. The name changed this year from SmackDown vs. Raw to WWE 12. What are the main reasons behind that, and what are the differences? What differences are there to the game design as a whole? Here's his explanation, basically. I just wanted to go over this. For those who's wondering why they changed the name. The name change was something that I think we all wanted and wanted for a long time. But this year, it was more... I cannot see that. I'm going to butcher that, so I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Fortuitous? I can't speak. Yeah, fortuitous. I think that's the right way of saying it, because we got this new technology that we're offering players with the Predator technology and everything. The new animation system... Oh, wait. That's a... Oh, my God. So this white stuff. Let me zoom in. My computer. There we go. Sorry about that. With the Predator technology... Oh, no. There was no space in that. That's why I screwed it up. My bad, guys. And everything. The new animation system. So we have a ton... Wow. Whoever wrote this article, they are throwing me off. So they have a ton... So they have a ton of new things. So we thought this was the perfect time. So I thought I was just crazy reading this. No, this is very... They did not spell check this at all. Okay. We're trying to give players a fresh take on wrestling, something that we're hoping will be a better gameplay experience compared to what we offer in the past. And we thought, what better way to, like, can I see Jets? I don't know what they were trying to say there. on the I think they're trying to say to sunset the SmackDown Raw name, which really didn't factor into WWE programming. I don't know who wrote this article, but basically Brian Williams is trying to say, sorry about that, that they just changed because again, brand new engine. There was no need for the name anymore. This was right before actually, I think almost a week before SmackDown versus Raw completely abandoned the brand split, but they were already planning on changing the name all the way back in June anyway to WWE 12. And before we get into gameplay, there's one more thing I want to show you. Where is it? Yes. Just a comparison between how the models look from WWE 12 to SmackDown's Raw 2011. Just a quick comparison. So shout out to TGBS1. So you see with Kelly and for her model from 2011 to 12. We didn't look at her last model. It's just how it looks right here. And then here's how she looks. Basically, they try to make things a tad bit more, at least as realistic as possible. I'm not saying the other ones didn't. They always just try to push it to a realistic presentation. And as you can see, they even got to the point where the graphics are pretty much as equal to the how it was presented in real life. I'm not saying it wasn't in SmackDown Raw 2011, but you can tell they really got pretty much every single detail in the Titantron, so they were able to update the character model as well. Again, it helps. It helps because they cut out the previous generation with the PS2 and PSP. Need to see the infamous booger model. Oh, why not? We will. This is the infamous booger model in this game. I mean, but that's how you can tell they didn't face scan him. Clay clearly did not face scan him. And I think the best example is Randy Orton, since he's the cover star. Look at the difference. It's night and day. Yes, Randy has hair, but you could just see the detail, the tone of the body, the sculpting. The tattoos are way more clear in this compared to SmackDown's Raw 2011. Again, the SmackDown details. Oh, thanks for waving. Sarah. And then last but not least is John Cena. Now, what's interesting about John Cena is that originally he was supposed to have the purple attire. So you could tell how early they were working on these models, because this was actually DLC in SmackDown's Raw 2011. But obviously in the final game he had his red attire, so you could just tell the development this was pretty much closer to before WrestleMania 27 when they started working on at least the new updated models for these superstars. So you kind of pinpoint it right before WrestleMania 27. So there's that. But as you just mentioned about the Booker T model, we might as well get right into gameplay. That's exactly what we're going to do. Wait, I've never seen. Wait a second. No, I'm not crazy. All right. So now we're going to get into gameplay. Where's my webcam? There we go. Sorry about that. I was actually trying to set up some stuff on here, especially the universe mode, which we're going to get into. So again, the whole point of this game was just the whole selling point. Might as well get into that real quick, as we were talking about that. Actually, that's what I meant to do. The three covers of this game was originally Randy Orton, but depending on, there was a special edition. There was a vote with The Rock and John Cena. The Rock won because he just came back, so you got the People's Edition. Essentially, it's just stuff that was already going to be in the game anyway. You just get it up front. And then Sin Cara, because they were really pushing for Sin Cara. I believe this was only in Mexico, though. You got the Sin Cara cover. So just 3 different covers compared to SmackDown Raw 2011, which was like 5 different covers. So there's that. And then on the back of the game case, again, just their biggest selling point was just experience the new WWE, just all about the gameplay. Then they talk about Road to WrestleMania. Then they talk about the 40-man Royal Rumble, which is the only new gameplay, the only new match type, quote unquote, because obviously the Royal Rumble was already in. The Royal Rumble was already in the game, so they just added the 41 because that's what happened in 2011. I think that was the only time they did 40, because then they did the 50-person Rumble in Saudi Arabia, and then the brand new Creator Arena. So the thing about this game, because they were so confident in the technology, they decided to just not add anything. And well, not just that, because they wanted to make sure everything was just stabilized. Speaking of that, Jesus Christ, I love when I talk and I just forget some stuff. There's one more thing I would like to show you guys. this was a interview back at GameSpot, like around E3. So the reason why I bring this up, because there's something interesting I would just like to have Corey Ledesma, who was basically the head of the WWE games team in THQ at the time, or I guess the creative director is the best way of describing it. I just want to showcase what he said, so you guys can really it's just fascinating. So let me actually let me just mute the where is it? The soundtrack? Ooh. Whatever. Let me mute the soundtrack real quick so you guys can hear what he says.
Want to focus on here?
That's the most important thing. All right,
This
Jason.
is our new submission system here too. Breaking point submission system. Brand new mini game. You can also climb to the ropes for a rope break. All new functionality added this.
No, I agree with you. I'm so glad this was the game that they actually updated the title. That's why I said I hated it. It goes for that engine was holding them back, because for some reason it was so strange. The PS2 versions had the accurate look of those titles, but the Xbox 360 and PS3, they were so golden. They were just too shiny without any detail. Ironically, they actually look like the current titles in the current game. It's like they didn't learn their lesson. I really want you to hear the question.
Here's pretty cool. Sorry to interrupt you. Jason's got a question.
Yeah, Jason from Vancouver is wondering about the match types in the game.
Yeah, with a big reboot like we've done in software, new technology, we haven't cut down on any match types, so we're still going to have a large amount of match types this year. We're not talking about if there's any new additions this year. I know a lot of people are wondering if there's a 40-man Royal Rumble, wondering if certain match types are in. We won't be announcing those just yet. We're just talking about one-on-one gameplay. But a little bit later on in the campaign, we'll start talking about the match types. But the good thing is, even though we added new technology, we didn't cut back on any of the content.
So, just wanted you to hear that part. Hopefully you did. I can't tell based on how my stream is set up. But essentially, he said, because we added new technology, it's a brand new gameplay engine, we didn't cut anything. So every match type that was in the previous game is in this one. They are actually able to add the 40-man Royal Rumble in here as well. I want you to keep that in mind, because 3 games from now, that's going to be very significant on what he said in 3 games from now. That was the one thing I actually just wanted to add there. So now we can move on to the actual gameplay. And since you mentioned Booker T, why not showcase him? Wow. Now that you mentioned Booker T, I believe I should have him unlocked. Sure, I'll play as him. And I guess he's the cover star. Why not pick Randy Orton? Why not SmackDown? So one of the biggest changes that they did, the new limb targeting system, which we will get to. Is there even limb targeting in the current games? I actually do not remember. Are there like actually any limb targeting? Didn't have any match type wrestler, but it had Bear and Blade. Good trade-off. Again, we're going to talk about that, because I don't blame them, because it's a very complicated story. I try to get the full story as possible when it comes to the 2K15 stream. I'll try to do the timeline as best as possible to how that game ended up being how it ended up being. But yeah, it's an interesting story that I was able to put together, find all the pieces. Because the story's there, why it happened the way it did. So it's just people weren't really looking at it much at that time. Vladimir Kozlov's theme song. Yeah, bring your stupid bull. Wait, what? I don't get the reference. You gotta explain that one, Slade. I know, it's funny. I was watching a random. So this was like back when I was making that. I don't know why I took my headphone off. This is back when I was making the CM Punk video on my channel, like this ECW showcase CM Punk. As I'm looking back to past footage of certain stuff, and I didn't realize that person crowd was Vladimir Kozlov, that he started like that in the crowd. That was absolutely hilarious. He says like, I love WWE. Oh my god, funniest shit ever. I was just randomly watching an episode that just so happens to have Vladimir Kozlov in it. Good stuff, good stuff. But yeah, you see Randy Orton, I wish I could have a play the comparison video. People don't know the lyrics, so they just guess that. Oh, gotcha. What was Vladimir Kozlov's song? I wish I could play it. I don't remember. I remember he's like Ezekiel Jackson's song. This right here is called Domination. This here, what you call Dominate. I don't remember Vladimir Kozlov's song, actually. Huh, I want to listen to it. Huh. Yeah, it's not ringing a bell. Normally I can remember other people's song. It's funny because I think he was a default tag team champions in this game with Santino Marella, right? Goes to show where the tag team division. I mean, it was good, fine for what it was. I think they are the default tag team champions in this game. Although, I can't reset the universe mode, so I can't really tell. So again, right off the bat, you can see the presentation is now vastly different. The camera's zoomed way out so you can see the crowd, and they added Tamina in that team. You're right, I forgot. Cause that's when the Usos debuted around that time, and Tamina. It was like a brief on-screen thing with Santino and Tamina, right? In case I vaguely remember that. So again, the thing about this gameplay, they went back to the face button controls. So it's like a hybrid, I guess the best way to describe it. It's a hybrid between the face buttons from Pick Up and Play from the original SmackDown to like Here Comes the Pain, and then the simulation controls from the SmackDown versus Raw series. Essentially, all the damn, Randy Orton is going after me. I have this on Legends difficulty, by the way. All the analog stick is used for is, I believe, just changing direction of the and plus the new breaking point submission. I recall, yeah, all the analog stick is for is just picking up your opponent, and then when you do a grapple, or I guess he was groggy, a regular grapple, that's where I believe you change position. But other than that, yeah, yep, it's basically how you change position. Is this game also did the second ECW invasion? It was even worse than the first. Is this game? I would argue. I mean, to be fair, this was told a lot better. If you look at it from that route, because again, they didn't have all the heavy hitters. At least they had Kevin Nash this time around at the start. It is interesting, isn't it? Why didn't they have Hogan? Was Hogan still? Oh, Hogan was in TNA at the time. Who would have thought? God damn it! Damn it, Hogan! Bad timing. Well, you saw they were originally. I mean, as I showed you in the cut content from yesterday, Raven was supposed to be in this game, or they were at least planning on in 2011, probably leading into Raven was supposed to be in this game, so that'd have been made things a lot more, a tad bit more interesting. Yeah, you're right. Booker T having that Michael Jackson face. It's I don't believe they face scanned him, which is funny because they actually became briefly an in-ring competitor again during this time. I don't just think they had enough time. I know people always go back and say like the TNA game has the best Booker T face model, and it does. I can't even deny that. Remember Samoa Joe? Yes, I do. But I'm surprised they didn't get Scott Steiner. Why was it? Scott Steiner wasn't in TNA at the time, was he? Was he still in TNA? Or did he leave yet? This is like 2011. I think he was still in TNA. Never mind. He didn't leave until a good while. I'm about to say, he could at least have Scott Steiner in this game. Because they had him in 2K14, so it wasn't that far off, really. When did he leave TNA? I believe it was like right when they turned to Blue Impact Wrestling. Probably should not have it on Legends difficulty. I want to showcase the gameplay. WWE 12 Mason Ryan Husky Harris had their entrance mistakenly swapped by default. I actually have a video talking about just that thing on my channel. It's called 29 Things You Didn't Know About WWE Game. But yep, you're absolutely right. For some reason, that's how low in the card Husky Harris was, who is obviously Bray Wyatt. But they literally did not notice the difference between the two. You know, they look nothing alike, but that's how low of importance they were, that they completely messed up their entrance teams. First game did not get released on the PS2. I mean, it sucked. I can imagine it sucked for PS2 players, and I still had a PS2, obviously, but look how it looked, like the jump in graphics in a year. Again, they did the same thing in 2K15, so I will always give 2K that much credit. Basically, my tolerance of 2K pretty much ended after 2K17. You could tell why when we get to that point. As in, like, okay, I'm gonna let this slide because again, it's a brand new developers are working on it alongside Ukes, and I had tolerance for them. Like 2K15, you have to understand it was a significant jump, especially to next gen. They never worked on a wrestling game a day in their life. So, okay, here's the limb targeting system. If I can do it, and Randy Orton can hit the RKO out of nowhere. This is why I like this game. You can just hit out of nowhere. I knew he had the finisher too. I'm the only one that likes SmackDown. No. Don't. I love SmackDown's Raw 2011, but the Universe mode in 12 is unmatched. Like, I will always go back to 11 because it arguably had the better physics. There's still physics in this game, but they dialed it back a lot, probably because of the new technology. But they dialed it back a lot. I'm hitting R trigger. What is going on? This is, I mean, that's difficulty. They make you fight. They're making me fight for this. I'm hitting R trigger. What is happening? Yes, Randy, you're stuck. That's crazy. At least I know how to kick out. You have been noticing as well the camera cuts as well. Essentially, you try to make everything a lot more TV presentation wise, except for the special effects, obviously. And then yes, this was the game to have the wake up taunts. The bookend. And hopefully that's it. I think these have like the best up until 2K26. Yes, I'm giving 2K their credit. Up until 2K26, I feel like these had like the best camera cuts in any WWE game. 12, 13, and 14 had like the best camera cuts. They really did try to capture the TV presentation. What is everyone's favorite memories currently here about WWE 12? I obviously have a lot to go over in this game. I'm going to try to showcase as much as I can within our time frame. Universe mode, because a lot has changed in the game. And obviously the cinematic masterpiece that is the final road to WrestleMania. We're going to briefly look at Creative Arena. I think I still got 2 of my Creative Arenas on there. I think it was Vengeance at the time because the pay-per-view just came out. I forgot what the other arena was, though. No Way Out. I remember I used to do a lot of John Cena versus Randy Orton matches. Well, it was in Universe mode. That's interesting because Randy Orton was on SmackDown. True South set you free side. Yes, this is his gimmick in 12, so it was a silent entrance. You're absolutely right. Oh, I think I made the Capital Punishment Arena. I mean, but Creative Arena was in its infancy in this game, so we're gonna see how it looks. It was a good first start. Again, despite changing the engine, they kept every single match type, and then they were able to add a few things. God, Randy Orton is beating the hell out of me. Again, the RKO out of nowhere. How am I supposed to reverse that if I don't see it coming? Yes, he was DLC. We're gonna go over the DLC in this game. Looking back, I didn't realize. Oh, the Divas. I mean, I don't know if you're a Diva stan. I know that was a term on the internet. The Diva stans are gonna love this part. The DLC, a whole pack dedicated to Divas. I know they wish that would be a thing in current games, but it's just like goes to show like they had a lot of just free. They just put whatever they wanted in the game. Not yet. Well, yeah, we're going to see the lineup of DLC. I mean, overall, they didn't. So the only issue I had with this, even though, again, I praise this game a lot, I probably put the most amount of hours in this game. The DLC was kind of lacking, I'm not going to lie. In terms of adding current superstar, they kind of rectified it in the next game, despite the fact that it was heavy Attitude Era focus. But they just wanted, I guess they were just testing the waters of the game. I mean, I don't know. The DLC was lacking in terms of new superstars. I think the only new superstar was Brodus Clay. Again, we're going to look back at it. Also, Art Anderson was in the game. Yes. Is this his only appearance in the game? Damn it. He got me. Is this Art Anderson's only appearance in a WWE game? That's like I said, this game is special. Like, if you're a fan of WCW, outside of Hogan and Sting, this is the game for you. They pretty much have your, I mean, outside of Hogan, Sting, and Flair, this is like the game for you. And again, updated victory animation too. Everything just looks so good in a year's time. You mean well, Brodus, was his name not Brodus Clay in this game? I gotta double check. But yes, Tyrus. Yes, his real life name is, I believe, is Tyrus, right? Am I tripping? So now we're gonna showcase a triple threat match and we're gonna do a TLC one to make things a lot more interesting. Because this was a game where finally, for the first time in the series, you can break up stuff and then you could do brief move combinations. So I guess while you guys are here, do you want to pick the selection of superstars that we have? I have, unlike 2011 where I missed out on Bret Hart, so I will always be mad about that. I have every single superstar, including the DLC. Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, Jim Ross, Shawn Michaels, Edge, Christian, Batista, Brodus Clay. I forgot Randy Savage in this game. Are you watching soccer? Which team are you? So, I don't watch soccer. I play the FIFA games though. Back in the day, me and my brother used to play the hell out of FIFA games. I've never watched a lick of soccer a day in my life, but I will play FIFA. Don't ask me how that makes sense. Okay, you said Edge. Yes, I have all DLC, so I guess in this case I'll be Edge. Was he DLC? He better not have been. There's no way he was DLC. Yeah, I'm about to say he was in the game because he was already, unfortunately, he retired at this point. Who we would have never expected him to come back years later. Yeah, Batista was DLC. Kind of questionable, but and then we got to pick one more person. So we got Edge. Well, first of all, thanks, Cameron, for stopping by again. Appreciate it. One more person. Do Christian. All right, so Christian. What an interesting lineup. I was probably gonna use Christian Universe mode to showcase the new stuff as well, but why not? How hideous does Edge look in this game? I feel like none of the previous games got Edge look right, except for Here Comes, from like Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain. They got it right. It's like, did they just never scan? Like Christian always looked fine. Edge, maybe because he just retired. Because Edge looked fine in 2011 for how it is. Like let's see how he looks in 12. I think it's after 12, or maybe because he just retired, it got him looking right in this game. Let's see. I think it's since he looks all right. I mean, as accurate as gonna look, but I think like starting with 2K15, he looks horrendous. You know, you should watch Silly Super Pop Grimm's Toy Show. I know who he is. I haven't watched his videos in a while, but I do know who he is. I think I used to watch. He used to do like action. I mean, unless he still does action figure stuff. He used to do it with someone else. I just forgot the guy's name. Was it Tony? Oh man, speaking of Tony Pizza Guy, I used to. I think if it wasn't for Tony Pizza Guy's universe mode, I probably would have never started a YouTube channel. Why Edge is in the game, Batista's DLC? They both retired this time. I think because you have to understand this game was being made when Edge retired, so he was going to be in the game regardless. They just put him as a Legends in this game. This was the same year that he retired, so they were gonna put him in this game regardless. But in terms of Batista, he was already gone for a year. I'm actually surprised they kept him in the game, because didn't he just kind of leave just for the sake of leaving? I guess they were still on good terms. Cause is he in 13? I don't think he's in 13, but he's in 2K14. I guess he's always we were just on good terms with the company to still keep him in the game, I guess, which is fine. But yeah, it is weird that he's taken out at 13. Batista, he wasn't 13 or wasn't? I don't think he, I'm not saying, was he in 13? I gotta look this up. Pick Brock. Okay, I'll pick him next. The next one I'm going to demonstrate is the Fatal 4-Way Hell in a Cell. Then we're going to move into some other stuff. Okay, so he wasn't there. Creative story videos the funniest, but I get why they took him down. Yeah, which is, I guess people tend to look at that, say that's the reason why they can't add in creative story. You can add in any game mode you want. Obviously, you just got to put in restrictions and whatnot. They're saying that's the reason, but here's the thing. I don't know if you guys are on YouTube. Obviously, I'm joking. But there's various questionable content revolving these games, the current games that are currently being public on YouTube, mainly by voiceless channels. But my point is, I don't. With that said, I don't see. Let's see how Christian looks. Oh, and they had the light heavyweight. Oh, they added a bunch of titles. Oh, that's why I like this game so much. They added so many titles. He's light heavyweight champion. Like, yeah, Christian looks accurate. But yeah, I don't see why they can't add create a story. Did I just pick triple threat? This is a TLC match. Am I tripping? Where are the? I just picked triple threat. I am an idiot. We did all that for nothing. We're gonna pick the same superstars guy. No blue dot unrealistic. I know apparently Vince hated him so much. I want this to, we're gonna skip the entrances though. I was so into picking the characters that I forgot to make it a TLC match. This is what happens when you do stuff live. My apologies. Completely unprofessional. Oh yes, the Clash of Champions arena is in here. I think the first and last time the Clash of Champions arena is in the game. Is it in the recent games? It must be an updated one that I just don't remember. TLC. Is Super Silly Prot and Grim Choice Show the same? I haven't watched. Have you played 2K25 or 26? I've had played both. I pretty much completed all of 2K25. My 2K25 is actually the finale of this event, so you'll hear my full thoughts on it. I mean, I have no problem talking about 2K26 now since I don't plan on making anything about it anytime soon. Night and day, I would say 2K25 is a obvious. 2K26 is obviously an improvement of First of all, Michael Burgess, thanks for stopping by. I don't think I said that earlier. I see that you also mentioned Brock Lesnar, which I'll pick for the Fatal 4-Way. But how do you run in this game? It's the L trigger to run. I forgot. But 2K26 is obviously an improvement on 2K25. Again, it's the gameplay. I'm gonna say the same thing I always say. Gameplay is the best gameplay we ever got in the game up until this point. It's going to be the best gameplay that we're gonna have up in this point of the series. How do you get out the ring? Now I'm confused. How do you get out the ring? If this is okay, it's L1. Such a weird. Yeah, that's weird to have it like that. It's the best gameplay we got in the series, but they just don't know what their priorities are. I thought they would go out the ring. Is different content like a wrestling show and Grim Toy Show is actually. Yeah, I remember Grim. Oh, it's from this, but it's from the same guy. Gotcha. Like I said, I remember Grimm's Toy Show. Wow, you guys just really like going on the ladder, don't you? See what I mean? Like, basically, I think they dialed it down. For example, they don't interact with the ropes anymore. I'm not 100% sure because it wasn't that close. That's one thing right there. It's not bad. It's just arcade. I've always said it's funny. 2K20 is just it was a bug. Here's the reality about 2K20. I'm not a 2K20 apologist by any means. It wasn't a bad game. It was just littered with bugs. That's always been the issue with 2K20. Had it not had bugs, it would probably been on par with 2K19. And since it's in a playable state, and someone run up there. Since it's in a playable state now. Oh yeah, thanks for pulling them off. You guys are not. Oh god damn it. It's in a playable state now, but people won't give it a chance. It pretty much plays exactly like 2K19. It was riddled with bugs. The graphics are questionable because they were using the 2K18 engine, but it's a fine game for what it is. The women's showcase is what it is. I will say that my career is absolutely horrible, horrendous, because of just the story of it itself is just horrible. Hey, what's up, Butler? Appreciate you stopping by. Thoughts on 2K18? Basically, my thoughts on 2K18 are essentially the same thoughts as 2K17, which we'll eventually talk about. They just blend in with each other. Yes, they updated the graphics. I'll go more in depth about it, but to make a long story short, they updated the graphics. Nothing really much has changed though. Whatever they would like to call that thing a story mode is not a story mode, and then universe mode is it is what it is. It's like they kind of updated it with universe mode, but it's like universe mode has been not what it always has been. I mean, universe mode basically died for me after 13 because they ruined it with the rivalry manager. I just hate it. I just hate it. Play for the title. I'll put the title on the line next time. I didn't realize Christian had the I should have made this a Money in the Bank match, to be honest with you. Had the light heavyweight title, but Batista's not a light heavyweight. I gotta get used to these new controls. Like, see, the physics are still there. They just dialed it back a little. Never played 2K18 on the Switch. I am gonna talk a little bit in depth about 2K18 on the Switch because because you can't fault Ukes for it. They didn't develop it. They lent it to someone else, which goes to show you probably shouldn't lend out something that you never tested yourself to a different company to port the game over. So that's why it got what it got, which is funny because I think the Switch 2 makes the 2K18 actually playable now. So if anything, it just goes to show the Switch was just actually underpowered. Not that the game inherently sucked. It kind of did, the port of it. But it just goes to show that you shouldn't lend out porting something if you yourself didn't test it out yourself. RBD with Big Shock. Was he in 2K? Yeah, he was in. No, he was in 2K18 or 19. Did they add him back in 18? It was like whatever special edition John Cena thing that they had. Either 18 or 19. Was it 18? Do you like to showcase 26? The CM Punk showcase? Oh, of course. Obviously, they couldn't add as many matches. Obviously, Jeff Hardy, which is actually very questionable why they couldn't add Jeff Hardy. Yeah, you know what? A little rant. I know DLC is a completely different topic, and people come late in the game, but the fact that you already had Jeff Hardy contracted for DLC, you couldn't get him a little bit early just to do the showcase? Makes no sense. Have you played Mario games? Yes. One of my favorite Mario games of all time. You probably won't believe it. It was actually on the 3DS with Super Mario 3D Land. But besides that, Mario Sunshine. I remember back in the day, people hated Mario Sunshine, but now it's like revisionist history. Now people love it, which is perfectly fine. I thought it was always a great game. I just remember when it initially came out, people actually hated Mario Sunshine because it played nothing like the Nintendo 64 version, which I've never played, but I was a huge fan of Sunshine. I never played the Galaxy games, which I regret. I always wanted to play those games, but I did play Super Mario 3D Land. I did play Super Mario 3D World, and I haven't touched a Mario game since because I'm still peeved off that they screwed me out of my Wii U because they gave up on the system. So I've kind of been a semi-Nintendo hater for a little bit. Have you played? Oh, wait. Showcase recent games are so short, still can't believe. Oh. We're gonna talk about that. Why are you spoiling the stream event for that, Mustafa? That's basically the whole stream. We're gonna talk about the tragedy that is 40 years of WrestleMania in 2K20. Once we get to the 2K24 stream, that was basically what was gonna be the whole game. It's like they talk the definition of phoning something in. Probably should add this for the title, to be honest with you. The definition of phoning something in, like, good lord. Yeah, wow. I feel like this, I guess 3 people. I probably should have done a Money in the Bank, to be honest with you. God damn it. Ah. No. Yeah, you see, like, they dialed it back where you don't even touch the ropes anymore. But I get it, it's a new engine. They didn't want to screw anything around. I wonder if I go all the way over here, what happens? Can someone, like, climb? Let's see. Can someone climb up there with me or push me off? Just push me off. I just want to see if I fall out the ring. Come on. No, Batista, don't. No, bad. Batista, bad. I'm surprised that Ed survived the last. I saved that. I'm gonna make something of that. Can someone? Okay, perfect. You stay right there. Stay right there. How do I get down? How do I get down? How do I get down? Got. Oh, okay. I guess we're about to find out. What the? Okay, so you can fall out. Edge is not having a good day. I just wanted to see how that worked. I was trying to figure out how do I get down. I gotta. Again, with a brand new engine, I guess they bothered not to screw up the physics as much. How do I get down? I can dodge, which is nice. At least I can dodge. And the Mysterio Showcase 2K22, you even have WrestleMania 22 because of Kurt Angle. Like I said, but it's like, that's what's so frustrating to me. You knew you were going to have Jeff Hardy as DLC, so why you couldn't just put him in the game? Ed said, nope, not happening today. I know the glitches on this game is funny. They're not game-breaking glitches like current games, but they are funny. But I really got, oh, see, we cannot, that's one thing that's unique. We can't push down a ladder like that in current games, I don't think. I really gotta learn how to, okay, if climbing is L1, I was trying to get down. How the hell do you get down on the, I'm hitting every button. X is the punch, obviously. God damn it, bro. How do you get, oh, screw it. No. Visuals, match information, tutorial, DLC ladders. Descend ladder, hit beat. Really? I tried that, but whatever you say. Really? Huh. How was everyone's universe mode in this game for those who played it? Whoa, I ran right into that one. Again, my best rivalries in universe mode was in this game. Me and Dolph Ziggler and me and Triple H, those was like the best rivalries I had in this game. I remember I was like on a championship run and Bros Clay like went through everyone, so he fought me at Money in the Bank. I barely kept my title. Good stuff, good stuff. Warrior was on Showcase, but you couldn't lock him as he was pure born. That's great. See, this is where we get into the point of, this is what I mean on this DLC. That's what you like to call on this DLC, Mustafa, where they're literally in the goddamn game. They are literally in the game, but they lock them out on purpose. You know I know that? In WWE 12, I mean, besides the fact I already know that, did you know in the Wii version of WWE 12, since you could not have, The Rock was not a pre-order bonus in that game. He was just in the game. You know that, right? The Rock's just in the game, and you didn't have to pre-order him. It was only just for the Xbox 360 and PS3. When was the last time Owen Hart was in a WWE game? Attitude? Miss playing this game. Road to WrestleMania. It's a masterpiece, Rum. It's a masterpiece. First of all, long time no see. I know we haven't talked in a while. My best rivalry was called Cesaro and Universe, so annoying as hell to beat. Yeah, and because I think what made the Universe mode fun, it was the momentum system. That really was a game changer. Hope you're doing good, bro. Hope you're doing good too, man. Just been busy a lot. That's why I've been silent for a few months making this event. Christian, just... Nah, I'm not going to let you win. You can't win while Edge is around. You can't have that. Ah, got it. All right, we're doing Hell in a Cell. With Brock Lesnar, we're about to go through some... We're about to bum rush some people. Then we're going to look over other aspects of this game. Yes, this was Brock Lesnar's return in the WWE series, despite the fact that he did not return until the following year, until after WrestleMania 28. Yes, Big Guerrero is also in this game. We're gonna do one more match just to showcase. Okay, what I was really trying to showcase was so who should we pick besides me being Brock Lesnar? I'll let you guys decide. I guess we should have John Cena. We put it in John. Use Randy Orton. Why not just pick John Cena just because? He's gonna win anyway. If Roberto Del Rio, should he put the title on the line? We'll have him put the title on the line. Rey Mysterio's the WC. Oh, see, that's spoiler. Why are they spoiling the story like that? They shouldn't do that. CM Punk. Oh yes, they added Call to Personality in the last second. It's like an all outside of, I mean, even Roberto Del Rio. It's like an all-star Armageddon Hell in a Cell. I think they did like an Armageddon Hell in a Cell like during one of those post Raws. It was just not televised. Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan. We had to have Daniel Bryan because this is debut in the game. Who else debuted in this game that's worth putting in? I'm trying to scan. Husky here. I mean, no offense. I don't think Sin Cara. Why not? Why not Sin Cara? But yes, Brock Lesnar in this game. It was, again, this is like, we don't get this type of stuff in the current games. Like, this is shocking. No, they didn't put him as DLC. They could have easily put Brock Lesnar DLC, but they didn't. Isn't that crazy? They could have literally put him in. There was no excuse. Next game is all. No, it's WWE 13. I don't have All Stars, unfortunately. I used to have an Xbox 360, but I don't. But we're going to the WWE 13 tomorrow. All Stars is a good game. Do not get me wrong. If 2K Battlegrounds was like All Stars, I think people would be less mad about it. Wow, that crowd sounds in a way. Vladimir Kozlov, I forgot about him. Yes, he's in this game as well. Emulated. I would rather, if I'm able to own it, I'll own it. Like I have Legends of WrestleMania, for example. Plus, the emulators for the Xbox 360 and PS3. Well, because the thing is, Brock was already coming back to WWE anyway. I guess they just wanted to put him in early. Because he was already about to come back to the company anyway. He didn't come back to WrestleMania, obviously, but he was already planning on coming back. They just wanted to put him in early. So that was basically it. Battleground was the West version. We should have saw the signs of the 2K's direction of microtransactions in that game. The signs were like, that was just basically foreshadowing of how 2K22 was going to move and the rest of the series moving forward. We should have saw this. The signs were there basically in terms of microtransactions with that game. Should have saw it coming. Alberto Del Rio makes his debut in the series. And look, the title looks so much better. Like, this is what I meant. Not only are the titles bigger in this game, the detail of it. I don't know what it was with the next gen SmackDown versus Raw series. You could not see the WWE logo in the previous versions of the game. Is that on PS3? No, I'm actually on the Xbox 360. We're playing the Xbox 360 version of the game. But it's like, yeah, the titles are now way more bigger and more accurate. Oh, All Stars. Yeah, All Stars on PS3. I don't have a PS3 on me personally. I know I could get the emulator, but if I have no problem buying the game. Like, if it's available, I'll get it. Obviously. I just didn't think of putting All Stars in this lineup. I believe if Randy Orton salvaged promoting Allstate, he would have been in Hall of Fame following. Oh, Randy Savage promoting. I thought you said Randy Orton. Randy Savage promoting Allstate. He would have been in the Hall of Fame the following before his passing. Is Randy Orton? I mean, I'm saying Randy Orton. Is Randy Savage in the Hall of Fame? But is he still in the Hall of? Is he in the Hall of Fame? Or am I tripping? Is he still not in the Hall of Fame yet? But they always put him as a legend in this game. I always knew Edge was better than Christian. His bro indicted in 2015. What do you mean? Wait, who are you referring to? Oh, inducted in 2015. Randy Savage. So he was put in the Hall of Fame. I completely forgot. Alberto Del Rio, he's in 2K. Yes, he is. That's his last appearance in the WWE series. Because he came back briefly from like 2015 to 16. So they had him just enough time for him in the game. Still don't know why Vince hated Macho Man. I don't think Vince hated Macho Man. Again, it's all rumors. It was more to do with, apparently, the story goes, it's involved Stephanie and Triple H. Stephanie and Macho Man had like a brief relationship. And that's why you never see Macho Man back in the WWE. Because of that, or I mean, to be fair, I guess Vince also had a say in that too. Now that I think about it, the CM Punk's look, and they added his updated look in the last second. They also able to add call to personality. Dan Bryan looks great in this game too for his first appearance in the game. Remember, he was supposed to be in SmackDown versus Raw 2011, but because of him getting fired within like a 2-month time span, him coming back getting fired, they unfortunately couldn't put him as DLC. Luger never came back to WWF either. But at least they put him in the Hall of Fame. What was it, last year? At least they put him in the Hall of Fame last year. So there's that. And yes, Sin Cara. They were, like, again, the amount of hype this man had when he debuted. I think he debuted in a segment with John Cena, right? Am I tripping? Did he not debut in a segment with John Cena and he botched his entrance? He literally botched his entrance. The cool thing about Sin Cara, though, in this game, and I don't know if it's in 13 or not, but at least in this game with Sin Cara, if it's a one-on-one match, they had that special lighting. It's so cool. Bam Bam Bigelow never came back too. Is he in the Hall of Fame though? I think that was Sheamus. Oh, who he like it was some, I think either he teamed up with Cena the next week, where I just remember he interacted with Cena. I was like, God damn, he's already interacting with Cena, and then Rey Mysterio. And Bam Bam Bigelow never came back, but he was just inducted in the he was elected Hall of Fame not so long ago, right? Am I crazy? I feel like it was recently. Or did he? Or he never did, or I'm just misremembering that. Let's see, I'm about to kill who am I gonna kill? Sin Cara? Why not? Or Alberto. And again, I just wish they'll bring back this. There's no excuse why they can't bring back this Hell in a Cell. And you know, it would actually help them to bring back this length, so that way they can put in ladders in the goddamn Hell in a Cell. Could finally use ladders. I think he is not. Yeah, I don't think Bam Bam Bigelow's in the Hall of Fame. The showcase was epic. I mean, that was essentially, even though it wasn't called Showcase by name, that was a start. I thought you were talking about his debut. No, I thought his debut was with Cena. If that's what you meant. He was fighting Sheamus. But why did he come out? He came out like he just came. I don't think he. Yeah. I don't remember Sin Cara's debut. All I distinctly remember that he botched his entrance during his debut. That was number one. And he eventually, like within a week of that, he teamed up with Cena. I distinctly remember that. But if you're, I mean, I believe you, Slade. You probably have better memory than me, in terms of that. So it's not that I don't believe you. I just God damn it, why is no one getting hit? There you go. Yes, this was the game. I finally showcased that where they freaking we can break up moves now. All right, Punk, you're out. You're the sacrificial lamb, so we can get out of here. Or I guess he didn't want to be. Man, I miss the THQ games. Again, people like have revisionist history saying THQ sucked, but that was never the case. They just got bankrupt. That's all it was. Every THQ game, like, say what you want about THQ. Every THQ game was never a below average game. Like, even the... And it's not even like, oh, it's a perfect example. It wasn't a bad game. It was just divisive. Like 2009, in my personal opinion, was like the weakest of the titles. But it wasn't a bad game. It was just weak because there was no replay value after 2010 came out. But other than that, every game was pretty much a miss. I mean, a hit. Even Just Bring It, yes, it lacked a compelling story mode. But even still, the gameplay was just like SmackDown 2, which was a great game. So there was really no misses with THQ is what I'm trying to say. I know for some, it's just weird now. We're in an era where people say like, oh, well, yeah, THQ sucked. There are people, you'd be surprised how many people say that. I know they're saying they want to like wish they were back now. But like there was a time where they say, yeah, THQ sucked. I think they were just so hyped with 2K15 and the updated graphics and whatnot, but nah. Damn, I'm wailing on Brian. Do you even have corner attacks on cells anymore? Like, I don't even think so. I don't even think we have corner attacks on Hell in a Cells anymore. Like that. Like we're literally in the corner. So much space. Fight with the weapons outside. All right, Cena, you're not doing anything. I'm gonna grab you out. I meant to grab. I meant to grab Cena. Nope, he was about to run back. Why you about to run? Are y'all that afraid of Brock? Good lord. Okay, Sin Cara, I don't think he's gonna run. Wait, I mean, he's gonna probably try to run, but I'm not gonna let him. Look at that. You can do regular move or kind of. He reversed it. Why is Sin Cara running? Oh, god damn it. No, come back. Come back. do, yes. That was funny when he said that. Wait, there was a recent patch for 2K26, I believe. I don't know what it was about, though. I think there was like a recent patch. I have not touched 2K26 since I started this event like almost 2 weeks ago. I've not touched you. Not because I just haven't had time. So, is there anything new with 2K26? I know the season 2 for the DLC came out. I have that, but I haven't touched the ringside pass. It's not. They don't. I have no issue with ringside or battle pass, whatever you want to call it. I think it's whatever you want to call it, battle pass, ringside pass, whatever you want to call it. I have no issue with it because they work well in other games, but it's just like I don't understand. I don't know who works in that company that truly thinks that the average wrestling fan is gonna be grinding out a battle pass for my faction cosmetics. They can't be that insane to think that, can they? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they truly think that. I just truly don't believe there's someone in that company that really thinks the whatever you call it, the battle pass, ringside pass. I'm just gonna say battle pass makes my life easier. They truly believe that people are gonna be grinding out for cosmetics in my faction, and not only just my faction. Again, I actually am a fan of the Borderlands stuff. Surprising. I know that sounds surprising, but I actually don't have an issue with the Borderlands stuff. I have an issue. Yeah, we're getting out of here. What I have an issue with is that's like the Borderlands stuff's a perfect example of stuff that should be in like my faction in the island, and I could care less about it. It's something where I won't even touch, but it's just there. It's something cool that's unique to that mode. It'll be perfect for stuff like the island. But then you put it in a ringside pass where it's like, you know, a lot of wrestlers are going to be, a lot of wrestling fans are going to be using it. Wait, what the hell happened? Who won? CM Punk? That Snake. What did he do? I got to see the highlights. What was it? We finally got out the cell. What did that asshole do? What did he do? What did I miss? Hopefully they show it. Like, what did I miss? He just straight up pinned Sin Cara, best universal. Oh, we're about to go through. I just want to show the Create Arena. We're gonna go through universe mode, and then we're gonna showcase the masterpiece that is the road to WrestleMania. Well, Punk's the champion, so there's that. It's just, I feel like the lighting of the Hell in a Cell 2 looked a lot better in these games than the current ones too. Hell in a Cell just looks so colored out. I know it sounds great because it's silver and gray, but it's a certain way to color something in a game or have the best presentation of it. And yes, create a finisher still in this game, by the way, as well as create a story. What was the first WWE game you played when you started watching wrestling full time? Well, I mean, I start watching wrestling. See, here's a quest that you guys can do. Maybe you can report back to me tomorrow if any of you guys want to do this. My first visual of wrestling, this is all I remember. Was there a Monday Night Raw, probably in the year 1999 or probably 1998, where at least Stone Cold and The Rock was fighting on Raw? Was there ever, at least that's my first visual wrestling, but my first actual wrestling game was Attitude, actually. So my first experience wrestling was the PS1 game Attitude, yeah. If there was a match that they had, that was my first visual of it. I don't think they ever fought on Raw before, though. At least in that time period, maybe in 1997, but it was either 1998 or 1999. If they had a match, at least either in a tag, maybe they were opposites in the tag team match or something. But I remember my first visual was Austin and The Rock in the ring. So here's Create Arena. Again, unfortunately, it's only tied to the actual, when they say Create Arena, they actually mean Create Arena because you couldn't update the stage. That was actually in the next game. So you just change the colors, put on the logos, stuff like that. So we're just gonna put something together. We'll make this brown because why not? What was where I started watching WWE top finishing moves and mixtapes of WWE. That's why I introduced retro. What year was that? Well, you say you was watching Top Finish, that would imply we're probably watching on YouTube's or YouTube or something. Or Google Video back then, as it was called. Logo, design, make it bigger. It was on YouTube. I mean, back then it was called, I mean, they didn't, YouTube, there was actually two. People tend to forget that. Google Video and YouTube. I think it wasn't until like 2009 where Google eventually, it got absorbed, even though like they've been bought YouTube, I think at that point. I think 2009 was when they officially abandoned Google Video, and then it was just all YouTube because they owned it. Like, I'm just making whatever at this point. Or just do all groups. Boom. Got it. Get it, got it, good. Alright. Got that out the way. The mat, the ropes, the ring post, the turnbuckle pads. At least you could also do the floor mat. Like, again, it was just trying to showcase. Like, have it all white, gold. First time, again, this is where it started. Ooh. Even the billboards, yes. You can change the logos to whatever. Put anything you want on there. Yes, the core was in this game. You get it. Just having fun. Daily Motion, yes. That was the lookout before Hulu came. Yes, at a time Hulu was free, and that's how I was able to get my SmackDown and ECW fix as well as Superstars. When Hulu was actually free, you could watch. Yes, there was a time that, oh my god, now we're taking it back. Hulu was free, and you was able to watch SmackDown, not Raw, SmackDown, ECW, and Superstars 100% free. But then I guess someone got the weird idea of there you go. The side, I was just trying to find the arena side. It was essentially the bragging rights arena. I think in 2010. It's like a hybrid of that, and that's what they use as the default for there it is. Yeah, I think it's the bragging rights arena. It was a hybrid of it. Of the bragging rights arena for the Create Arena. That's all at the time was all able to do. You watch pay-per-views and parts on there. On Daily Motion, yes, because back then, the first time I was able to watch a pay-per-view, because normally I would go over to my next door neighbor's house to watch pay-per-views like WrestleMania or any other pay-per-views because they always bought it. Again, my family wasn't the richest. It wasn't until WrestleMania 26 where my mom bought the pay-per-views. So I was able to watch it for the first time in my house instead of going over to my neighbor's. So, yeah. Good times, right? And it was a special WrestleMania because obviously one of my favorite WrestleMania matches of all time, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, career versus streak. I know this is going to sound like a hot take. I know people praise the 25 match. Yes, I know it's a great match. I personally enjoyed the 26 one because of the story. And the fact, I think what made me, because besides the fact that Undertaker is my favorite wrestler of all time, I think just that being the main event, it really showcased how big it was. Because remember, when Ric Flair retired, that wasn't the main event. When Shawn Michaels retired, they made the main event, and they made it over the Royal Rumble winner, which was Edge versus Chris Jericho, and over John Cena and Batista. Think about it. John Cena versus Batista, the first time WrestleMania. Basically, the two biggest superstars on the opposite brand, SmackDown and Raw. They were finally fighting at WrestleMania for the title. And they still put Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at the main event. That's how big that match was. So I personally will always like the WrestleMania 26 match more than the 25. I know 25 is like an instant classic. I like 25 too. I just prefer the 26 one. That's me personally. Before we get to Universe Mode and we're gonna cap it off with Road to WrestleMania. Just want to showcase some stuff first. You bear with me here. One second. All right. So, first things first, cutting room floor. Remember when I said it earlier. It was obviously in the middle of production, they decided we're going to switch gears and make this new game because in the files, there are actually title files that say SVR 12 in the Xbox 360 version. Ukes that you can see right here. For the Xbox 360 PS3. So again, at some point, this was still going to be called SmackDown versus Raw 2012. It's just they just decided, hey, I know their excuse is always the brand split, but that's not true because the brand split didn't end until like August of 2011. The game was already being developed, so they did not switch it. There's no way they could have the foresight to see that. So they were going to call it SmackDown Raw 2012, but I guess it really showcased the engine. They just decided, hey, just come up with a new name. But yes, at one point it was going to be called that. And then just some leftover audio. The fact that Evolution lie in the sand still in this game is very interesting because that music had not been played since SmackDown versus Raw 2006. So how is this still in the files? But actually, how is it in the files regardless? Because SmackDown versus Raw 2006 wasn't even in, was never on PS3 and Xbox 360 or Wii. So I guess at some point they were probably thinking of putting Evolution in the game. I guess they realized since they didn't have Flair, it wasn't gonna make any sense. Which game had the best cover? I'm gonna be biased and say I would say, I really like 12. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying it's the best cover. I really like because they don't make these types of covers anymore. They almost did with 2K23 and John Cena, but like the aesthetic of 12 and 13 okay, there we go. 13 has the best cover, hands down. In terms of creativity, I would say 13 has the best cover, but I feel like aesthetic like as a full overall, I think I have to give it to SmackDown versus Raw 2011. It's something about that cover because I actually have it right here. Actually, hold on. 2010. Yep, right here. Hopefully my game. Cool. There's something about this. Oh wow, it's still here. Actually, we do it side by side. There's something about this cover that just looks like excellence to me. Like the blue and red on each side, and just there's something. Yes, I know Miz and Big Show they're representing, but still, there's something about this that just screams excellence to me. SmackDown, I like Triple H in the front too. There's something about this one to me, like the color scheme of this. Just always peeks out in my interest. Like 2007 is a great cover. Do not get me wrong. So yeah, I would personally say SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 for me. But what about you guys? Oh, you say 2006? I like it because it was like the black and white silhouettes of John Cena and Batista. I can dig that. All right, one more thing. Couple more things. The comparison. Just want to show you because again, it still was on the Wii. So just want to show you a quick comparison of how it looked. What I mean, they were basically still using the SmackDown versus Raw 2009 engine. So there's a side by side with the 360 and Wii. But right off the bat, I mean, it doesn't look bad, but like you could tell they're pushing they're pushing the limits of the Wii at this point with this engine. This did look like a bad. No, like honest to God, the jump between 11 and 12 was night and day. But then they topped themselves again with 15. Tell you what, 15 was probably like the biggest jump in ever of a graphics for the wrestling game of all time. From 14 to 15 was like, what are we working with here? But as you can see, I mean, on the Wii they were pushing its limits basically. For a Wii game, it doesn't look bad, but it's just like you could tell they were like stressing the hell out. And let's see again, there's something about the detail. Again, up until 12, the detail was always looked better on the last gen versions, but they finally got it right. Now it's way more accurate thanks to their new technology. I always wondered why they never showed the full Titantrons in the games. I think just it's probably a memory issue because you got to think about it. Besides the fact that they have to play them anyway. There's like 60 superstars. They're gonna have to have the memory of the full Titantron. I think that's just a lot of unnecessary MP3 files, and they probably didn't. This was still during an era of them like compressing. They didn't really compress the files back then as much on the Xbox 360, or I guess they didn't know how to properly do it without screwing up the game or how it looked. So that's probably the reason why. Ran for Titantron showed, and well, I guess they finally fixed it then. There you go. I guess they finally fixed it then. But probably again, they just jumped over to the new engine in this game. They probably understood how to work around or what they need to do with it in the next game. And this is how it looked on the Wii. Not bad per se, but it's like you could tell they have reached their absolute limit in terms of the crowd too. Like it's like night and day. Just want to showcase the crowd. If there's anything, just shows like crowd looks like this, and then the Wii version looks like that. But for a Wii game, it's perfectly fine. One more thing. So I was able, thanks to the Wayback Machine, I was able, because normally I would showcase the fan access stuff on the SmackDown Hotel, but thanks to the Wayback Machine, I was able to pull it up. The originals, yes, I remember, like, this just brought back so much memories. I was able to pull this up thanks to the Wayback Machine. The original article to fan access, which was the season pass at the time. We're just going to briefly look over it. Yes, at a time, the whole entire season only costs about $12 or 960 Microsoft points. The Brock interview in this game. Yeah, I wish I could. I mean, I probably could find it on YouTube. I just didn't have it for this stream in particular. I remember I do have the trailer of Brock Lesnar. I just don't have the actual interview. So yes, you're saving 25% for the whole DLC. The WrestleMania pack. So here was the DLC lineup: Jerry the King Lawler, Jim Ross, Michael Cole, yes, as a playable star, Shawn Michaels in retro attire. So basically, this was their way of putting Shawn Michaels in the game. Road Warriors, black and silver shoulder pads. Edge and Christian in the retro gear. The Divas pack. Yes, this was at a time there was a personal Divas pack. Trish Stratus, because she's a legend now. Vicky Guerrero. Because again, remember, she was supposed to be in 2010, so I think they finally decided to put her in the game in this one. The Bella Twins, despite the fact they were in the game previously, so I don't know why they took them out, add them as DLC. Fine, they were literally in the game last year. I guess because they needed to make room for the WCW roster. It is what it is. Karma. It's always fascinating when Karma, did she even wrestle one match? I don't even think she ever wrestled. She was in the Royal Rumble, but I don't think she ever even actually wrestled one match, or did she? I do not remember. And then Alicia Fox, despite the fact that they were literally both in 2011. Then you had Mick Foley, Macho Man Randy Savage, a free Brodus Clay, and then Batista as the Legends pack. Even though Batista wasn't considered a legend or Hall of Famer, he was literally just in the company not even a year ago. But I digress. And then yes, 12 was the era where they finally started patching the game. Now I'm trying to give them the benefit of doubt. I don't think they purposely put out a bug game. I never had an issue with the game back in the day. The only issue I had with the game is that sometimes, on occasion, in universe mode, there would just be one match on the card. Then the next week would be back to normal. It only happened so often I didn't notice. But they realized there was a lot to fix in this game. So because of that, besides putting out the big patch, they gave you a free Mass Kane as retro DLC. I mean, it was completely free. Because of the community creations, there was something bugged there, and they gave you the free retro DLC for it. And they just, again, patch is just always fascinating. I'm able to look up this stuff thanks to the Wayback Machine. 1 second. Back to works. 1 second, guys. Last but not least, because we're probably going to have our teeth sucked into universe mode and Road to WrestleMania near this, so I just want to get this out the way. The 12 roster. So it was an interesting roster because again, it's a mix. It's the first game that heavily featured WCW legends. Due to the story mode, which you won't have a lot of time to look at, but still. Alberto Del Rio makes his debut. Alex Riley, I believe this is his first and last game because he's not in 13, I don't believe. Is he? I don't think he is. I think this is his first and last game. Alicia Fox, Animal, Arn Anderson, Axe, Batista, Beth Phoenix. By the way, the Demolition, this is their first and final game up until 2K16. So yes, if you wanted to play as Demolition, they weren't DLC. They were actually base regular people in the game. They're DLC now in the current game, but yeah, this was the only time you're able to play as him. Same thing with Arn Anderson, I believe. He's not in any future game. Or maybe, I don't think he is, unless he was in 18 or 19 as DLC. I believe this is Arn Anderson's first and only game. Big Show, Booker T. Yes, Booker T is finally back in a WWE game after all this time. I think 2008 was the last one. Brie Bella, Brock Lesnar, Brodus Clay. Chavo, final appearance of Chavo, I believe. He's not in 13. Christian Classic, CM Punk. Yes, Undashing Cody Rhodes, the debut of Daniel Bryan, David Otunga, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Eddie Guerrero, Edge Classic. Evan Bourne's the last game. I don't think he's in 13. So, unless he is. No, I don't remember him being in 13. So, this is actually Evan Bourne's last game ever in terms of WWE. E. Torres, Ezekiel Jackson, I believe this is also his last game. Goldust, Hawk, Heath Slater, Husky Harris, first and last game. He won't be back until 2K15 though. Jack Swagger, Jerry Lawler, yes, Jim Ross is finally playable. John Cena, John Morrison's last game until 2K22. That's a long ass time. I know he left the company, but it's like still Jesus. Justin Gabriel, Kane, Kane with a mask, Kelly, Kevin Nash. Was he in the next? Was Kevin Nash in the next game? He was in 2K14. I don't think he was in 13 though. Maybe he was. Karma, Kofi, Layla, Mark Henry, Maurice, Mason Ryan, first and last game. Michael Cole, Michael McGillicuddy, Michelle McCool. Actually, Michelle McCool's last game until 2K24. Mick Foley, Mr. McMahon, Natalia, Nikki Bella, R-Truth, Randy Orton, Randy Savage, Rey Mysterio, Ricardo Rodriguez only as a manager, Ricky Steamboat, Santino, Shawn, Sheamus, Sin Cara, Smash, Stone Cold. I believe this is Ted DiBiase. No, he's in the next game, I believe. Maybe. Who knows? The Miz, The Rock, wow, that he's bald, Triple H, Trish, Tyson Kidd because Dave Hart Smith already left, Undertaker, Vader, Vicky Guerrero. Yes, Vader finally in a WWE game, at least the main one. Vicky Guerrero, Vladimir, Wade, William, Yoshitatsu, and Zack Ryder. So interesting lineup of superstars. So now we move to universe mode, and arguably, I say universe mode peaked basically here. 13 is practically the same, but what killed it was the game-breaking bug, which we will talk about tomorrow. But universe mode basically peaked here. So like, where do I begin? Where do I begin? First off, it was interesting. The month actually started with the Royal Rumble instead of, after WrestleMania. So the fact that it started here, I always thought was cool because it was essentially starting the road to WrestleMania right here. The ranking system is basically, again, the same, which is a good thing. Everyone's in contention for the title. And then Intercontinental, same deal. Road Warriors. Why are they the tag team champions, huh? I must have not played Universe Mode in a while. And Beth Phoenix is the Divas champion. But the cool thing is you can actually... This was the game where you can customize... Whoops. Yeah, edit brand. This was the game where... No. This is the game where you could change the titles, basically. Even though for some reason I can't do it. I know there's an option to change the titles. You were able to do it in this game, but for some reason I just don't see it. I'm not tripping, am I? No, you can definitely change the title. Where is that option? You hit the brand. Brand name, change brand logo, manage superstars. Is this not the game you can change the titles? I believe so. You're able to swap out the titles. Why am I not seeing that option anymore? I distinctly remember people swapping out titles in this game. That was the whole point. Why? Where's the option of that? Edit the show right here. There you go. I was about to say I did not hallucinate that. I did not hallucinate that. Okay. There you go. I'm not crazy. They're crazy. You change the show logo to whatever you want. The championships. Yeah, you couldn't. This is back then when we only had 4, and it was 4 for a while until like what 2K19. So this is as good as it was gonna get. And then you could change the titles, major, minor, tag, all that good stuff. And you could change the pay-per-views. You could change the show, but you couldn't put in whatever day you want. That wouldn't be until the following game. Now, the Sin Cara Intercontinental Champion, get the hell out of here. Crazy. So pretty much what you could do. So one thing, you could add interference. You can edit, do that, all that good stuff. I guess for the sake of this, we're just going to play the main event to see if there's a cutscene. Well, sometimes they would basically say it's a cutscene. We'll just see. Unfortunately, I would not be able to get... get the Brock Lesnar cutscene since you already unlocked him. That's not a thing. Yes, the titles did look a lot different in this game. Did this game freeze? I'm about to say, this game looked like it just froze for a second. Something's happening. What the hell? Are they just playing the Raw? What the hell is happening? This is a bug. Oh, they're playing the Raw intro because I didn't start the show. Oh, I didn't start on the first match. I skipped everything. Yeah, you only have to do one match universe mode and then you unlock them. Yeah, it was basically the very first match. And it was anywhere between, it was normally either a variation of Triple H and The Miz or John Cena or The Miz. That's essentially how it worked. Now, I don't believe there's going to be any cutscene to this because, they would indicate there was going to be a cutscene thanks to, I mean, it could very well happen. Because sometimes they just happen out of nowhere. And then, yes, you can actually pick right before and then just go right through it. Or you can just simulate it. For Goldust, you have to play as Cody. Yeah, for a certain match, right? Is that a pay-per-view? Or just randomly play as Cody and eventually you'll pop up? Since I already have Goldust. So essentially, in terms of unlockable superstars, those cutscenes have already played out. So they won't... The likelihood of them playing again won't happen, but... There are cutscenes that are pretty much not in the current games at all. Too bad he won't be back in WWE. Oh, Goldust maybe when he's fully retired and then they won't care. Cody's gonna bat for him. He's gonna bat for him eventually. He won't stay out forever. Yeah, you see now this is where they quickly get up instead of staying down and starting this game. God, the Legends difficulty is actually, it puts up a challenge in this game, that's for sure. Alberto Del Rio. He was a star, man. Like, I know, like, they had something going for him. I mean, he kind of messed himself up. It's like one of those things where they didn't mess him up. He kind of messed up himself. I know, I think the first reason they fired him something to do with a backstage person. It's like, they gave him another chance. Like, they were high on him to give him another chance a couple years later, but it's like he kind of screwed himself over. They had something going with him. And like the short time that they had him, he was basically a main eventer. It's just one of those things, like one of those what ifs. He didn't screw himself over. He was World Heavyweight Champion. Not only did he fight for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania, he defended the World Heavyweight title. Like they were confident in this guy. They're always trying to replace like the next great Mexican superstar so Rey Mysterio could finally retire. They unfortunately have yet to find that person. It's crazy. He was in the mix of summer. That's why I said he cashed in on, like, that's how high they were. Maybe because probably Vince could care less about Punk, but they know he couldn't ignore the crowd. So he probably like, all right, we'll give you the title, but now I got to feud with Alberto Del Rio. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like they were very high on the guy. Like he won the 40-man Royal Rumble. He fought Edge. Like there was so much. And then he won the Money in the Bank right after that. And he cashed in on Cena. Like, there was so much stuff going for him. And he pretty much dominated SmackDown for most of the year. Leading up to WrestleMania. And then his babyface run was actually pretty fine. When he was a babyface. And then Dolph Ziggler cashed in on him and everything was right in the world. That place blew the hell up. And then he threw that off. That's why I say it's one of those what ifs. Is like this was Alberto Del Rio is a perfect example how normally people would say, well, WWE screwed them out of the career. No, he did it himself. They gave him everything. Like they pushed him to the moon in the short time that he was there. Like he started in 2011. No, actually, no, he started like late 2010. Yeah, it was like late 2010, the fall of 2010. Not even a year, he's already won the Royal Rumble, and then he was fighting Edge at WrestleMania for a World Heavyweight title. They don't just do that to anyone. I mean, Sheamus kind of, but Sheamus was basically another. The only other example they did in a short amount of time was Sheamus, which I mean, at least Sheamus paid off. Alberto Del Rio, I don't think they got their investment back for the amount of effort they put into him. Remember, I thought, not only did I think he was going to win the Royal Rumble, they seriously had me convinced he was about to win the Elimination Chamber. That place lit the hell up when Santino hit that Cobra. I fell out of my chair when I'm not gonna lie, I fell out of my chair when he hit it. I thought we were about to have Daniel Bryan versus we were about to have Santino Marella versus Sheamus at WrestleMania. I thought we were legit getting that. Because I already knew CM Punk and Jericho, even though right after that Sheamus picked Daniel Bryan, I already knew it had to be a CM Punk and Jericho. Because I was like, it has to be best in the world versus best in the world. That's the only option. Yes, this is where finally they don't teleport in the ring and start in this. I mean, they don't teleport in the center of the ring when it comes to these rope rebound moves, like the 5-knuckle shuffle. Starting this game as well. And hopefully this does it. Damn, one finisher. He had damn Cena. One finisher. That did him in. God, I really missed this universe mode. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be a cutscene. They want to give me this option, or maybe it might be. I'm pressing it. They're not letting me do anything. It might very well be a cutscene. I'm pressing B or A. Either it's... I don't want to go to the next match yet because it's going to take me to Superstars. I'm trying to hit B. Huh. Something might happen. Alright, Cena, stop celebrating. Yep, something's happening. I told you. Look at this. Rey Mysterio out of nowhere. Is he going to betray me? This might be this stuff. This was no pre-planned stuff. Simple stuff like that. So now next, we're probably going to go to next week, see what the hell's going to happen there. And watch it still make sense. This is what I mean. This is what I miss about universe mode. I don't like the maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't like the idea that I know how the story's going to play out. That's what creative story is for. I just want to put my superstar or play with whatever superstar I want. And if something happens, great. Have it happen in the background. See how the story plays out. I don't want to be a book. Like, what's the point of universe mode if I'm also the general manager? See what I'm trying to say? It makes it's so redundant. Like, that's why I hate the current system. I know it's like such a I know I'm probably sound crazy, but it's like they just don't get it. That's what general manager, like the reason why they had universe mode as it was because they took out general manager mode. They finally put back general manager mode. Just let I shouldn't know what's happening. Just let it play out as people tend to say, let it play out. I should not know what's happening. And see, here's another thing. I know they brought back the mystery opponent in 2K26, but you kind of already know who it is because you have to put it that way, or you could put it random. I have no idea who the hell this is going to be. So we're going to play it this match right here. I have no idea who the hell this is. We're just going to play and see what happens. A low quality smack, because this is what I see. Unless you play the first match, it's going to look like this because the fireworks didn't go off. That's why it looks like that. Now it's back to the right quality. Oh, see, he's one of the Road Warriors. Well, he has both the tag title and the smack. They're both the same title. I forgot to take that off. I believe this is around the time where I was putting all the belts on the Legends so they won't be in front of my main universe. So that's why he has both titles. You know, he's a tag team champion in this game, which I just don't know why. Is he wearing his core shirt? He don't want to get represented with that. The Tyson game last game for a while. Yeah, I believe he comes back in 15, right? No, 16. He comes back in 16. I know, it's crazy for Tyson. I guess because they moved him to NXT, they thought he wasn't worth putting in anymore, which is so strange because 2K15 they put in everyone. I know, it's for Tyson the Kid. If it wasn't for Cesaro, I don't know where Tyson Kid would have been. Obviously, we know the whole situation. His career. No, I don't think he wasn't. No, he wasn't 15. I distinctly remember. You're right. He wasn't 15 because he had my favorite song in there. Yes, I took his song. Did you like the Nexus? I was always even my brother was a fan of Nexus. He was because he hated John Cena back then. Even though he was one of those guys where he was a fan of Cena, and then like somewhere between like 2009 or 8 when he came back, that's where the hate began. The core. I was always a fan of Nexus. I mean, when CM Punk took it again, I was always a Punk fan, but when CM Punk took it over, it kind of killed the whole point of the group because there's supposed to be a bunch of new people. Even Punk said that himself. It was like I think I forgot the Colt Cabana interview. There's no reason for him to be in the group because it was supposed to be a bunch of new guys. It kind of killed the group. So, for how it started, at least the Nexus will always have that moment that people remember and they still talk about to this day. At least Wade Barrett could be proud of that. But other than that, yeah, Cena kind of killed it. And then the core, they just wanted to essentially, after killing off the Nexus and having at least Wade Barrett do something, they gave him a group. They gave him the rest of the group on SmackDown with Ezekiel Jackson. Obviously, you could tell the whole point of the group was to get Ezekiel Jackson over for some reason, even though Wade Barrett was obviously the better star in the long run. It is what it is. It's like beefy guys. Wade Barrett should at least had a world title. I know they were building up towards that, at least after screwing. I honest to God think had Cena not beat him at SummerSlam, I think he would have had at least one WWE title reign. You like CM Punk running as commentator? It was funny. It was funny. It was different. Hearing someone other than, Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler, the combination of him and Lawler was great on commentary. So I enjoyed it. Cause I think the thing with Punk up until that point, we really didn't see like his. I know he was a heel and whatnot. We only saw like his exaggerated straight edge, society gimmick. We really never saw his personality that much. With him being commentator, though, we really saw his full personality on display. I know he was in the title match, but he never won. I feel like had Cena not beat him at SummerSlam, they probably would have gave him the title eventually. Like I could have totally saw him beat Randy Orton at both bragging rights and Survivor. For God's sakes, the Survivor Series poster is based. It was him front and center. That's my point. It's like, and you know those posters are made way in advance. That's why I strongly believe before Cena screwed the Nexus. I know it wasn't Cena. Vince made the call, but and yeah, Samoa Joe ruined him. And it just accidents happen. It was the same thing with Sasha Banks and Paige. Crap happened. At least Paige is back. Unfortunately, Tyson. But Tyson Kidd does well. Apparently, he's like the main producer for the women's matches. So if you love the women's matches on the show, you'd thank Tyson Kidd and Finley for those. Wade Barrett was. Yeah, he was. But I feel like he was He was main event material. They positioned him as a main eventer. I remember the bad news gimmick. It was fine, but it was a mid-card gimmick. It was never going to be his gimmick when he first started and briefly after. He had that feud with Randy Orton, which was great. I remember that on SmackDown. But it's like it's one of those things where it's like he was clearly positioned to be. I can't imagine they had him win the first season of NXT for him not to be a future WWE champion. They gave him the whole group. Like, come on. It was just like, it was obvious it was there. I'm afraid I got some bad news. Like, it was fine. He had some moments. He won at WrestleMania as Intercontinental Champion multiple times. He got into that ladder match at WrestleMania 31. It was always a great ladder match, in my opinion. That started off the show, so it was good. I always liked WrestleMania 31 just because it was the first WrestleMania, at least when I witnessed it live, that it was completely bright. It was the afternoon, it was bright. Nowadays it's kind of, but like that was the first one, was like, okay, it looks so cool. I know they tried to make it as dark as possible for Undertaker came back against Bray Wyatt, so it was still in broad daylight. It was like such a cool, and that arena, the stage is always so cool to me how they did it. Yeah, just like Riley. Yeah, apparently Cena hated Riley. Apparently, I'm just basing it off what he said. He teamed up with Stardust against Neville Veer. Yeah, I remember that. Like he had some good moments. John ruined him too. He ruined a lot of. David O'Tug. I think he recently went on a podcast said, yeah, Cena basically ended his career in terms of like a push. He ended the whole next. But like, you can't really say that because some people got out of it good. I hate to use that example, but look at when Heath Slater was still employed. At least he had a job and he had a good run that people remember. The I Got Kids gimmick. And then Daniel Bryan, technically he wasn't part of the group at the time, but god damn it, I hate when they do the finisher so fast you can't react to it. I think that's kind of the point of the game. I say when you do it so fast you just can't Oh, last second. That was so close. I thought I was done. Those are the last second pinfalls. There we go. Heat. Well, thank you, Heat, for coming out. I didn't even call you out, bro. But thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hopefully you do something. Do something. All right, time to hit the Wade slam. It was such. I always like Wade Barrett's finisher because like it's so basic, but I could tell it's probably devastating. It's like so simple, but it works. It works though. I can imagine getting slammed like that. Wait, is he out against me? Wait, I thought he was on my side. What is going on? Bro, are you not on my side? What the? But if I get out the ring, is he gonna attack me? What the hell was that? Is he gonna attack me? Yes, he is. What? Betrayal. Well, were we part of the core? What happened? That is so crazy. I thought he was legit on my side. You think you know a guy? Huh. Damn, I have not injured him at all. And first of all, how did he not get disqualified? He was able to reverse that. I would have won too. I legit thought he was. God damn it. Well, I can do a complete 360 with that suplex without any effort. Hopefully that's it. Nope. So at least these moves could most likely end on a finisher as it should. As it rightfully should, but hopefully that does it. And we're probably gonna play one more. I just want to see how that John Cena and Rey Mysterio story plays out, if it does at all. Fan of Bryan around this time. He was great as a heel. Again, like Dan Bryan as a heel was great back then. The little guy just keep yelling her out like him and Mark Henry Big Show, great pairing. I know people still hate. What the? I just had poor timing on that, I guess. Heath Slater, the betrayal of Heath Slater. I would have never thought. Huh. See, this one I could skip. That's how. So basically, that's how you could tell if there's a cutscene or not. I was not able to skip the John Cena cutscene. I know people were playing about the it was 18 seconds. But it worked out for Bryan in the end, though. He got him over. If it wasn't for that, I don't think he would have got over. If he was just lost a 20-minute match against Sheamus, they would have been like, whatever. Because now they had sympathy for him. Obviously, I don't think Vince McMahon was prepared for that. But it worked out in the end. I just want to see if there's any... Let's see. See, look at that. Cena, Punk, and Batista. I wonder if anything to do with Rey Mysterio after the fact. But, I mean, what a match. Steel cage, triple threat. Good Lord. They don't make these matches like this anymore. What year Dolph Ziggler should have been pushed? He should have been pushed the year before. 2012 should have been Dolph Ziggler's year. I know they gave him the Money in the Bank, but honest to God, Dolph Ziggler should have been world champion in 2012. Hell, even I would argue. I mean, I know he briefly feuded with Edge in 2011, but it didn't work. I mean. He lost it. I feel like 2012, Dolph should have been world champion by now. I know they gave it to him in 2013 for like a month and then he got concussion, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like 2012, he should have cashed in a lot sooner. He at least had he should have went into WrestleMania as champion. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's Dolph Ziggler's last great, I mean, his forever moment will always be Survivor Series 2014. The closer you're going to get to a WrestleMania moment was Survivor Series. Like, he was the hero of the show. So outside of that, yeah, I mean, it was thanks to because of Sting. I remember that too, watching that live, because that was obviously during the network, and I was able to. That's when I actually had a job. So are they to afford? Ah, man, we missed the WWE Network, $9.99. People used to meme on that, but now they wish that price point was back. The Wrestling Dreams Fantasy, John Morrison. Yeah, this is John Morrison's last appearance in a game for over a decade. Thanks TKO. I mean, it's the market. We live in a capitalist country. If you can profit off of it, I mean, if you can make money off the same product but just increase the price, it's just the value of it. And I mean, it doesn't help that there's no competition to WWE. AEW is pretty much its own thing. They're never going to see it as competition unless they sell out Wembley Stadium with 80,000 people again, like the first time they did it, which I don't foresee happening. I'm not hating on them, just reality's reality. With the current trajectory of that company, there's basically going to be no alternative to WWE. So why would they? There's no incentive to lower the price or change anything that they're currently doing because there's no competition. That's what happens. We got the attitude era because of WCW. Back in 2019, they were slightly trying because of AEW when it first started. But then once Vince McMahon realized there was nothing to him, he went right back to it. And then with Triple H, did Dolph Ziggler return in the John Cena tournament? Yes, he did. Him and Zack Ryder. And then like a month later, Zack Ryder became Matt Cardona. But at least again, Dolph they still respect Dolph for him to come back like that. I would always respect that. And try to exit. Let them do their thing. Yeah, this is when you can actually reverse. Hot take. What's the hot take? What you got? I'm listening. What you got? Kurt Angle's a better wrestler than Shawn Michaels. I can see. I mean, he objectively is because he was a amateur wrestler. Like, he got Olympic gold medal in wrestling. Like, that's not. I mean, that's just an objective take. I mean, in the context of WWE, there is an argument, but he is objectively a better wrestler than Shawn Michaels. That's not even objectively he is for some fact that like you can argue basically him and Brock are legitimate in the sense of like, yeah, they wrestle like they're actual wrestling. They are objectively the better wrestlers. And they had a great match. I mean, they had a great match at WrestleMania 21. Oh, what the hell was that? Jesus. I just did the same thing to him. I don't know how we're gonna. Who's gonna win this match? I just don't foresee. Unfortunately, with triple threat matches, you can't escape the door, so there's that. I do like though in the current games you could just call for the door and get out, but you could do that in these games. But when it comes to a triple threat one, you can't just. I heard on Kurt's podcast Brock was about to join around that time. Oh, when he got into, but I mean, good. I mean, luckily they sent him to OVW. I'm not saying Brock Lesnar won a lasting Attitude Era. He just didn't have the look for the Attitude Era. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, I don't think he would have fit it. I honestly, God, I don't think people would have liked him in the Attitude Era. Wait, so they're both. Are you serious? So I gotta pull both of them down, really? And you get him, and I'm going to leave. Yeah, you get him. Cool. I'm going to leave. God damn it! This is the point where we're all just leaving, huh? Okay. How about you get Batista, bro? See, now he left. This was all your fault. You idiot. Punk. And now he's the #1 contender for no reason. All that for nothing. But it's cool. We're about to showcase the masterpiece that is Road to WrestleMania. I want this game so bad. I think it's on eBay for like $10 or $12. This is the time to buy these games. Gene Snitsky, it wasn't my fault. Always a good gimmick. Again, I can to say back then. I mean, I was still a kid back then. I thought it was real when he hurt Lita. Hey yo, I saw his legs look glitched there. When you talk about what part of the match where I thought like, well, that was weird how he got on Punk like that to get the Luthez press. I don't know which part you're talking about. It might have been that part. This game was kind of glitchy, but at least it was playable. I put the most time in this game. Like the glitches weren't game breaking; they were just funny. There's a difference between game breaking glitch that like, well, screw this game, and they're just haha funny. They also had a number one contender, and Shawn Michaels. There we go, right there. They already had that about to have a match. Triple H and Brooke. There we go. But all right. We are about to witness when Batista won his... Oh, okay. I did not notice that. I went to look back and see that myself. All right. We're about to witness the... what's the biggest what the fuck ending to a match you've seen? That's a good question. What the fuck ending? Well, the streak ending. I mean, I guess that's... that would be my... So, fun story with that, with the streak ending as we get into this. Actually, one second. I gotta, for some reason, there's something wrong with my stream deck that I gotta fix. There we go. Now I can mute soundtrack. Or no, the game capture, yep. Alrighty. Know what I need to, because unfortunately how the road to WrestleMania is in this game, I'm going to have to mute the Xbox audio. For certain parts, despite no matter how much I tried, I'm gonna have to mute certain, especially the beginning. But it's a cinematic masterpiece, guys. You guys about to witness masterpiece. But to answer your question, though, the biggest WTF, I tried to fix the options. It was just not working for it. I guess I could do some subtitles. Subtitles are on in this game, right? Let me see. No, they're off. We're gonna cut it on for this instance. I mean, what I know people hated that ending. I know what the hell is a squad case, but no, Hell in a Cell, real quick. That's my I'm not gonna use the reference, but that's like my D-Day moment in wrestling when the streak ended. I just could not believe it. I do not remember the rest of the night. I know Dan Bryan won the title, and I didn't know until years later that there was a Divas match right after that match. I had no idea. I do not remember anything after that. Once the streak ended, I was checked out. I was devastated. I was like, what's the point in life once the streak ended? I just couldn't believe it. And then for a whole year, I was wondering, was that the last time I saw The Undertaker? And he came back the next year. But yeah, Vince McMahon won the ECW title. It brought out the best version of the Vince McMahon character. I will say that. That dude was absolutely hilarious. What up, G and everything. That dude is absolutely hilarious. So yes, Road to WrestleMania. I remember people complained. It was like, oh my God, it's only 3. Like, you gotta let them. I know this term wasn't there back in the day. You gotta let them cook. People thought it was so weird that Sheamus, Triple H, and then your creative wrestler, Jacob Cass, was the only option for Road to WrestleMania. They were actually shitting on it, but you had to let them cook. This is a match. You're about to see what you're about to see in the first minute of this is probably anything. I am just saying this factually. What you're about to see in the very first minute of this is a perfect example of presentation. Something that the 2K games lack in their My Rise or whatever you want to call it. The equivalent of basically what this would be or show. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing anymore. And I'm so glad they ended Road to WrestleMania because you cannot like Here Comes the Pain. You cannot top this. We're gonna look at this masterpiece. Again, unfortunately, I had to mute the audio. That's why I put on the like this. The presentation, it's so good. Unfortunately, they're playing Undertaker's song. They weren't playing his song. I would unmute it. They're playing Undertaker's song because he's about to fight him for the world title. That's why I put the subtitles on. It's so it's so good. They were trying to tell a story. It's so good. Unfortunately, they're still playing the music. And like you can look back here. I mean, you could walk. I never knew this. Like you could walk back here. I never did this. Like Sheamus is right there. I never knew that. To this day, I never knew it. You could like walk. The brief time you could have interactions, you could just walk back here. I never knew you could do that. Yeah, you can still hear Undertaker's theme song still playing. I just thought that was cool. Like basically it's like foreshadowing what's about to happen with Sheamus, and like that's like a Easter egg that I don't think anyone really talks about. Like he was right there waiting in the background. It's so cool. Yeah, Santino here for some reason. And he's hurt. And then we get ready. Again, unfortunately, they're still playing his music. They weren't playing it, and I tried to separate the audio. But we weren't there yet in terms of Sheamus' group in this game was better than the Road. I know, it's so good. I think probably the biggest issue was since William Regal was running NXT, they didn't have him. They needed someone like him in the group. But you're absolutely right. If they had like William Regal in the group, I think it would have worked out more. Like, here we go. Look at this present. Again, they're playing John Cena's music. I'm about to unmute it, guys, but it's so good. You see Undertaker already way in the ring, twitching. Yes. It's like the presentation of this. How is this on the Xbox 360? We can't get this in the current games. There we go. And now I can put back on the audio. Why can we not get this in the current? Like, look at this.
Fella, you and I are gonna die.
I love how Undertaker just basically, he like, all right, whatever. I guess I'm off for today. I always laughed at this. You can KO John Cena and get him to the top of the stage. I always just like, I know they don't get, because again, they don't know how to make, again, no, I know I'm saying like, they might sound offensive. They don't know how to make a wrestling game. They know, they just have a game that just so happened to have wrestlers in it. They just don't know how to make a wrestling game. Honest to God, they don't. The Ukes knew what they were doing. You could try to tell, they tried as much as they could with 15 to 19. They tried. They tried to make it work. They just couldn't anymore. Like little stuff like this. This is what wrestling fans want. A game like this. Not whatever bullshit they were trying to tell in my eyes. This is the stuff that they want.
Sheamus has Cena. He's going to throw him off the ramp. Oh, Cena caught himself. But Sheamus is there. Oh no, King Sheamus.
Now you just get social media posts that progress the story. Why can't the story just progress like this? It just takes like the fun, like, I don't need to look at my phone to progress the story and do stuff like that.
Keep it safe.
You know what I really think it is? I don't think they can tell an original story when it comes to these superstars. I guess they don't know how to or whatnot. I just don't know personally. We're gonna play a match with Sheamus, then we're gonna go to Triple H, then we're gonna go to the Craig Carroll. I just want to show you each parts of it. Obviously, we have zero amount of time to play the entire story because this is about like what, almost 4 or 5 hours long, the story, if you count for everything. We do not have time to play the whole story. Maybe one day on stream I will. With all the cutscenes, I look about like it's like a 5-hour story. It's just a perfect masterpiece. The American Dragon, yes. I'm glad they was able to get his comeback in this game too. I actually used it for my creator wrestler, Dan Bryan's comeback in this game. Yeah, this was also the first game that he had the comebacks. A lot of firsts in this game that are pretty much in the current games. Damn, Bryan's good. There we go. And now he's groggy. At least they indicate when he is, so then you just now wail on him. There's no combos, no stupid combo breakers. It's a regular wrestling match. That's all we ever wanted in these games, just a regular wrestling match. I guess that was too much for them. And reversal. I mean, Dan Bryan and Sheamus, they put on great match. I know, like, they hated the rivalry at first, but honest to God, looking back, him and Dan Bryan put on incredible matches. Like, literally incredible. Like, I always remember their best 2 out of 3 falls match. I believe it was at, I want to say it was at, what was it at? Extreme Rules. Like, it was such a great match. I like people like one of those matches that people sleep on, but they gotta look back and actually watch it. It's such a good match. I say, even though people like hate the PG era to a certain extent, like a lot of those matches were so good, and the in-ring work of the PG matches were so good. Boom. Okay, it's over. Which match? It was Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus, the World Heavyweight title at Extreme Rules. Right after Wrestle 2012. This Extreme Rules 2012. The same night it was John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Actually, funny enough, that whole show was great. Yeah, that whole show was great. Wait, can I not? I cut off. So is the music tied to? I'm gonna have to look it up. Let's look at chills about John Cena and CM Punk on Raw. Oh, you're talking about the match they had on Raw. Who the winner faces The Rock at WrestleMania. Such a great match. I'm so glad that was the ending too for Showcase as well, because they knew that was. I mean, it was the perfect ending to the match. Yeah, that match. It was so good. Even CM Punk said that's literally he likes that more than the Money in the Bank match. I can understand why. Where's again the whole presenting HD thing? Where's the audio? I've cut on the cinematic, so they just not talking? There we go. There we go.
For Team Raw. The truth is, Team Raw, Team SmackDown, I couldn't care less.
See, again, I like how the story just played out. None of this stupid looking at the cell phone to progress the story. The story just played out. And again, I think one part I like about this, everything makes sense. Everyone's story plays out at each of the 3 modes. Like, this is going to be important way later, but they're just showing him now. Because he's on Smack. Like, that's...
You need to try looking in the mirror sometime, because
this may seem like nothing now, but this makes so much more sense once you get to Triple H's story.
English language.
What do you want? On second thought, I don't care what you want. You come out here and make fun of me? That was a mistake. So, I'll get a couple of fellas, and the 3 of us will see the 3 of you later tonight.
Oh no, please. I really don't want to see that face again. I don't think I can do it.
This is funny as hell in this game.
That's it.
Most random ass pairing Wade Jack. Well, it makes sense in the story context once you get into it. Eventually, when it plays out, like again, it's when it, like I said, that's why I think I like this story, because it's a slow build. They're not rushing. You know, it's called Road to WrestleMania. They told it throughout the entire year. Like, they didn't start at WrestleMania. It starts at Bragging Rights, which is like October. Like, there's so much time to tell the story that they're trying to tell. And throw them at the top of the what is it? What am I supposed to do? I did not see that. But right now we're gonna quit out of it though, because I want to showcase Triple H's, and then we're gonna briefly showcase the Creative Wrestler. I wish I could just show the whole mode, but we don't have time for that. Now we gotta do a new one. And now we're gonna start with Triple H. This might spoil it, but it is what it is. It might spoil this, because I'm assuming it's going to start exactly where I think it's going to start. So, spoiler, guys, if you don't want to see it, but unfortunately I have to show it. But again, all the stories are connected. Yep. So you can see how this plays out.
There they are. This is it for Sheamus. Barrett has Sheamus going for Wasteland.
So to recap, they're fighting for all the titles. Yes, all the titles. How did we get to this point? You got to play the story yourself. Or maybe I might play it one day on stream. But yes,
He's not going to do this.
the crazy stuff like this.
No.
And then he pins him. You don't get this stuff like this anymore in the games. Continental champion. Oh wait, gotta cut off the audio. Unfortunately, is the king. It's such a, and Triple H's story is so good because like how he retires here is so good too. In this, oh spoiler, he retired again. It's so good, and then wrapping it all together. It's like, who was looking like he got every happy meal for McDonald's? And then, yeah, like Triple H comes out of nowhere. He wasn't part of the story this whole time. That's why Party out the outsider. I love Triple H. He just wants to know. He could care less about all the other titles. Just completely buries the rest of the titles that he has. You're like, no, I just want the WWE title. You can keep it. Look at this. You don't get this in the current game. The animation stuff like this. This is effort. This requires effort. Look at this. The camera work and everything. This requires actual effort and storytelling. Bro, shaking. That's it. I just love the idea. He's like, you don't get this in the current game. I know this requires effort, but they put the effort in the wrong place. Like my faction in the island is so baffling. Like, again, I know visual concepts and 2K ain't looking at the stream at all, but it's like, this is what we want out of a wrestling game. That's all we want. And it will sell just as well. That is rhymed right there. Sheamus should not. There should have been one pedigree and let it be over. Again, side note, I do like the idea. Like, if you look at this title, it's clearly reusing the assets from, which is, it's actually funny because they have the right title in the game, and even during the championship pre-match, it's the correct title, but they're using the old 2009 model, which is absolutely hilarious. I never noticed it until now. They're using the 2009 model of it. So that's actually funny to me. Damn. Oh, I was gonna hit the there we go. Guys, I do love how you can hit your signature and finisher out of nowhere. It just flows so well.
The WWE Championship.
Look, all this effort in these cutscenes and whatnot. Not reusing universe mode cutscenes in my ride for 70% of the game. Yes, he had the record before John Cena, and he'll beat John Cena's record in the game. Over a decade before John Cena would actually do it. Who would have thought? I wonder if Triple H demanded this be put in the game. We're gonna see how Triple H's story just briefly plays out.
Last night was
and then we'll go to the creator wrestler.
You know, my whole life, I've strived to be the best.
Oh, we know. See, again, the accurate title's in the game.
This happened. 16. Wow.
Tied with Flair before Cena.
I was never sure I'd get there.
What, 5 years before Cena at this point? Yeah.
More times than I can remember, and each time I'd get sidelined, I'd come back stronger.
And out of all the people he feuds with in this story, it's the freaking Miz. I mean, it's good storytelling, but it's the freaking Miz and Edge. Edge, I can understand, but the Miz, like, it's crazy.
Maybe I can hit 16. Maybe I will tie the record. and that was followed with Sheamus smacking me into everything in sight. So I saw 16 slip away. But you know what that did to me? It motivated me. It put a fire right here in me.
Why can't he make original stories like this? Like again.
Because
Oh, bravo, Triple
And there, Miz once again, a part of the story. Like I said, it just makes sense.
15 times. Wow. You,
Like they can't make him like this anymore.
awesome.
do you mind, Miz? I'm trying to talk to my fans. Oh, I'm sorry. That might not be a term you're familiar with. You see, a fan is a person that likes you.
Ha, ha, ha. Unlike you, Triple H, I don't need to.
I like how the Miz is pretty much exactly, at least his voice acting skills are pretty much exactly on par it is in real life, which is not bad.
Go on a diet? Really?
Triple H is clearly phoning it in, just ring off paper, but at least the Miz is bringing this character into this.
My ego's the problem.
I don't say anything I can't back up, Miz. In fact, come down here and I'll show you.
At some parts, you can tell Triple H is trying, but Miz is pretty much in character the whole game.
But I'm not going to. I'm going to save my strength because I know something you don't. Game.
What are you talking about?
Well, a little birdie told me that WWE is starting the King of the Ring tournament tonight.
And I love again the little detail. You see the WWE logo is turned upside down because this is when Miz, anything that had the logo, he would turn it into his logo, the Miz, like the M for the Miz. The little details like that.
2 more points. Item number 1, when I win the tournament, I will be considered the new King of Kings. And point 2, Triple H, your match starts.
Is the King of Ring even in? Oh yeah, it is. It's a current game. Isn't? I think it's only in Universe. No, they got the tournament back. They just don't have the presentation anymore. Yes, Zack Ryder was going to be a problem. All right. The idea of Zack Ryder being a problem to Triple H is absolutely hilarious to me. And then now we're going to showcase the Create a Superstar. Now, if I remember correctly how this starts off, you probably won't even know Triple H's ending unless they actually show you. They won't show it. God damn it. You know, oh yes, We Are Wild and Young. Good old times, the song. Yeah, Rey Mysterio was the a mentor for you. They're actually going over the dialogue right now. Who is for those who don't know, who's actually voiced by Austin Aries. You know, he wouldn't be in the company until like what, 5 years later. So he was just voicing him. So they're just going through this whole dialogue. And it's actually, I mean, I wish you guys could hear this dialogue because it's like, it's so good. Like they really thought everything through in this. I wish, why did they have to have the stupid, why did they have to have NXT song? There we go. They're actually explaining the whole, yes, you cannot create a diva, obviously, blah, blah, blah. Just you, Prince is going to use a template. What the hell is that? Is that Chris Sabin? Whoever that first person. Can I just have why couldn't he just put on something? Yeah, templates. Come on, give me something. Not a suit. Really? 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 I know I sound like the Miz. It's supposed to be in-ring attire, by the way. Okay. Come on. Something. I really have to make something real quick. There we go. There we go. That's all. He actually looks like a Jacob Cass, actually. He actually looks like a Jacob Cass. Or he looks like Kevin Federline, actually. I can't believe it was actually on Raw and fought John Cena. I think he actually pinned John Cena at 1.2. Now you can see the beginnings of his story, and then they're all. Again, I'm so glad they ended it on this point. They could not top another road to WrestleMania after this, looking like he's a greaser. Even though I'm naked right here, so what the hell is this? I can't. This game is hilarious. I know. I think I only did the ring attire. This is supposed to be his entrance attire, but I'm naked here. Whatever. I digress. And then Husky Harris comes out of nowhere.
Jacob Cass. I'm glad I ran into you. I'm Husky Harris. So here's the thing, Cass. You may have won NXT.
I know winning NXT basically meant nothing because everyone was just employed anyway. I understand the concept of the show is just to get them into a casual audience, but it's like it didn't matter. They didn't truly get eliminated. I mean, some of them did go back to FCW before NXT became fully NXT.
What was that?
Hey, pal. When you start something with me, you better be ready to finish it.
To the right of the vending machine. Well, where's the vending machine? Where is the vending machine? Over here. Oh, right here. To the right of it. So I gotta be on that side. I know. I'm trying, but god damn, I can't reverse. There we go. Damn. Okay. Of how he's just going to every spot. Oh, I was able to quickly reverse that. How are you already, bro? How are you already tired? I mean, I have it on normal difficulty. I don't have it on Legends difficulty, so probably why it ended early.
Consider this finished.
I believe Rey Mysterio should be popping. Yeah, he's right there.
Hey, what's going on here?
Nothing. Just saying hello to the new guy.
Yo, easy, man.
And that's his story. But again, there's more. You wonder why WCW's in the game. Yeah, I played a hero. Everything just, it's like such a good story. Everything pays off in the end. Everything ties together with Sheamus and Triple H. It all ties together in the hero story. We'll play this Daniel Bryan match real quick. This is how the story progresses, and then we'll call it. If it would load. I guess when you're loading, again, this was back when the Create a Superstar file is separate. It was actually a separate save file. That's probably part of the reason why it was taking forever to load. I thought he said the NXT aesthetics. Oh, you see, now I got my out. I said, this is so dumb. The default should have been the entrance one, and then the entrance one should have been the ring one, but it is what it is. Looking like Johnson wannabe. To Jackson. I haven't heard that name in a while. Does he still do YouTube? Jacksepticeye? He was like in the Call of Duty. See, I know this is old YouTube. Jacksepticeye was like one of the top people. I remember, God, the Call of Duty people back in the day. Septiceye, Raw Instinct, iFly alumni. Oh my God, the Call of Duty scene back then. You know, I stopped playing Call of Duty after the first Black Ops. I felt like, well, it couldn't get any better than this. And then Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3 was whatever. The peak of Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops. For me, Modern Warfare 2 is probably the greatest Call of Duty game of all time. And then Black Ops. There's just something about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's just something about that game. I'll be up to like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning playing online. And Black Ops and Zombies too. Oh man. Wish those days, we could bring those days back. You know, I had to go to school the next day. I mean, like a few hours just staying up at night. He looks so ridiculous. In a wrestler, he looks so ridiculous. Yeah, Brian's not having it. Well, he has Dolph Ziggler's moveset. I would not be shocked they gave him Dolph Ziggler's moveset, actually. Jacob Cass won that word life. Yeah, I wonder how they got Austin Aries to do this. Was he still contracted to TNA at the time? So that's why I'm more curious how they was able to do that. I mean, knowing WWE, they probably did not care at all who did it, but it's just like, pretty sure Austin Aries was still employed by TNA at the time, so like, how did they have this happen? I have no idea. Oh, damn, Brian. You're being generous today? I just want to see what this next cutscene is, and then we'll call it. Oh, that's it. All right. I thought it was going to be a different cutscene that plays out. Just a regular match. Just want to see what's next. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It doesn't look like it. Or maybe it is. Let's see. No, I'm just fighting, or Justin Gabriel's out here for no reason. What is happening? I guess we're teaming up against Rey Mysterio and huh. Oh no, I'm teaming up with Daniel Bryan. I'm facing Husky Harris, but again, maybe one day I will go back and they play this whole Road Wrestling stream because just I understand why they ended it here. You can't top what they did here, and I think Ukes was proud of what they did with this Road WrestleMania. The story wise, I don't think they could top it. That's personally my opinion. But yeah, WWE 12. They really didn't have to go away from SmackDown versus Raw series. And you saw in the name files that are still in there, it was going to be called SmackDown vs. Raw 2012 at one point. They decided with this brand new engine, we just reboot the series, and it paid off. I mean, this is one of the few WWE games that actually won a award. I think it won what was it, E3's best? It was like best sports game. So let me double check real quick. It definitely won a award, and like IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. It won. That's a award. It was praised. Well, IGN gave 9 out of 10. G4 called the best wrestling game ever made. It really is. It's something on the box that says like IGN something. I just don't remember what it's. They won something at E3. I think it was the best sports game, but yeah. It's a very good game. They bet it all on just rebooting the series. They were proud of this technology. And with this new engine, this is probably the realistic we were gonna get for a realistic presentation in the WWE video game series. But the next game, they decided, even though they're moving forward in the series, they're taking the series in a new direction, they're trying to move forward, they're actually going to utilize the past to tell their story, at least in this game. And probably they didn't think of it at the time, but moving forward as well, the past is going to have heavy influence on wrestling games moving forward, starting with the next game, WWE 13. So thanks for everyone who watched this live. Quick shout out to Mustafa, who's like, you guys were just here the minute I started. I appreciate that guy so much. Mustafa, Slade, appreciate it, man, for being here this whole time. Sarah, I am Johnny for being here earlier. Jeffrey Rodriguez, Cameron, Michael, Rum for stopping by, appreciate it. CR7. Who else was here? Qualim Barnes. Thanks for stopping by again, man. Appreciate it. Who else? We'll make sure I got everyone. And leader of the Charisma Kids on 14. I cannot forget that name. Thank you guys so much. I will be back tomorrow with WWE 13, which would end up being officially fully. So it's a complicated thing. WWE 13 is technically on paper THQ's final game that they produced under THQ, but it technically wasn't their last game. We'll get into that more tomorrow with WWE 13. So thank you guys again.